This isn't a video about cannibals or decapitation. It's about disinformation and how it works. It's about what they don't want you to know about the drug war. The media was at Twitter last week about connections between Montreal's Canadian Cannibal and the murder 3,000 miles away in Los Angeles of 66-year-old Hervey Medellin, the decapitation victim.
LA police tonight are looking into a possible connection between a gruesome killing here in Southern California and a former LA porn star who is accused of a grisly murder in Canada.
The LAPD confirms it is talking with Canadian police to see if a horrific murder there might be connected to an equally disturbing murder here.
6 months ago, the LAPD was telling reporters the head found underneath the Hollywood sign was probably the result of a gay lover's triangle, and reports said an arrest was imminent. Now, 6 months later, they're pursuing another gay angle, and the guy's a cannibal to boot. But there was no talk at all about Mexico, only 120 miles from LA, where there were a total of 81 decapitated and dismembered bodies found just last month. The real news from the decapitation beat received no publicity at all. For months now, we've been exclusively reporting that Medellin was not murdered as a result of a gay love triangle gone wrong, but because of long-standing connections to drug trafficking through the notorious and now defunct Cali cartel. That reporting was confirmed last week by a local TV newscast in LA.
Our David Begnaud, he's got the latest on the investigation out there. David.
Hi, Rick. Since the body parts were found, the victim's apartment here in Hollywood has been vacated. The victim's boyfriend has left town, and the case has not really gone cold, not yet. Some would say the victim lived what you would consider was a high-risk lifestyle. He was married once, then divorced, never had kids, and publicly he traveled a lot, having a job as a flight attendant. But privately, our sources say he had a side job that included involvement with one of the most notorious drug cartels.
The LAPD has been told Medellin was at one time in the 90s a concierge for the Cali cartel, the now defunct drug cartel which operated in Mexico and the U.S. Our law enforcement source says Medellin's activity was reportedly legal, renting limos and hotel rooms, even shopping with the wives of the cartelsmen.
So the LAPD is well aware when drug cartelsmen's wives are doing a little shopping. Rodeo Drive, at least, things are business as usual. Remember when Chapo Guzman's wife had twins in Los Angeles last summer? The DEA said they knew Emma Coronel, a former Miss Sinaloa, was in town, but they didn't detain her for information about her drug kingpin husband's whereabouts because he's too well protected to arrest. All this looks like homespun wisdom compared to the classic disinformation that comes next.
Sources say Medellin told his boyfriend the day before Christmas 2011 that he was going to Mexico on business. Medellin had in the past traveled to Mexico regularly as a flight attendant for Mexicana Airlines.
He was last seen and stated that he was going to Mexico on December 26th.
Is the boyfriend a suspect?
Not at this point in time. Obviously, we don't have a motive and we don't have a suspect.
No motive, no suspect, and the gay thing isn't working out. But the LAPD, or whoever's writing the script for them, isn't giving up yet.
Sources say the likelihood that Medellin was the victim of a drug cartel is slim to none at this point. The likelihood of a gay lover's triangle is an angle that investigators are looking into, which is why Captain Hayes is sending his team of men into Hollywood and the gay communities of West Hollywood to do some good old-fashioned outreach, believing that clues to this gruesome murder may well be found right here in Hollywood.
Get the feeling that no matter how illogical, the LAPD is just not going to let the gay thing go? Why? Is it because this was the moment they dreaded? When the vicious drug war raging in Mexico spills over into the U.S. and Americans finally begin paying attention? Or is it because of connections between Hervey Medellin's boss and an American operation exposed in 2006 when 5.5 tons of cocaine were found on American registered DC-9? And no one went to jail. In part 2, we'll explain the connection.